Hello and welcome back to Songs of Syx. I am the Fiend, and here we are, continuing our beautiful Amevian playthrough. I love these guys. I will continuously say it, I'll probably say it at the beginning of every single episode because they are amazing. They are just awesome. I don't know what it is, and I talked to Jake a little bit. I asked him about the Amevians. I wanted to know what his opinions were and what he... how they were made, etc. And he expressed that they were made 3 years prior by himself. So they are a dev-made creation, but he took them out because I believe that he didn't feel that they fit their looks or something about their aesthetics, and so he removed them. And a player slash modder put them in as a mod, and because Jake liked the way the mod looked, and I believe some of the details that he had added to them, he put them back into the game, and here they are. One of the greatest races in all of Songs of Syx. And they're amazing. They're really cool. I love Amevians, and when he mentions that, I honestly think I remember the Amevians a long time ago, when I bought this game a long time ago. So if you don't know my history with Songs of Syx, I bought the game back when there wasn't really graphics to be kind of flaunted like it is now. Like, there's some beautiful graphics in this game, but back when I got it, it was not beautiful. It was kind of hard to look at. It was really confusing, and I struggled a lot. Now, where we're at, it is such an easy game for me, and I feel bad when I see people. I see them regularly in the Discord, and on my personal Discord, you can be sure to join it if you'd like. I'd like more people to join it, as it has so much unique stuff to offer, and it is very fun. So be sure to check that out. But if you have any questions or any complaints or problems with Songs of Syx, be sure to ask somebody, because there's probably a solution. There's always a solution in this game. And that's how I've gotten really good. That's how I've gotten to be proficient, I'd say. Not the best. I'm definitely not the best player, but I'm pretty decent at this game. I've played quite a bit. And I've gotten an early example of how these canals work. So I have the leg up on people when it comes to that, I think. You can see that I think a lot of people will make different decisions when it comes to canals. Especially, I've seen a lot of people, they'll put canals in the middle of nowhere. Or the pump, I should say. They'll just put it out here in the middle of goddamn nowhere. You get like a little bit of variety. You can see there's 33% groundwater. It's negligible. It's negligible. And I think that's just so that you can kind of extend it a little bit if you wanted to. There's some decent groundwater here, but I have seen other people put them out. Maybe that's what they're actually doing. Maybe I don't know enough about the pumps, but I do notice a lot of people do a different selection of things with those pumps. It's always interesting to see how someone will take this game and kind of make it their own, and I think that's the glory of this game in general, especially my series. It is just, every different series is a different challenge, different fight, and with this challenge, I'm having a good time. We have a decent population of Amevians, 269, of course, nice. We have 83% immigrants. Something I dislike about our civilization currently is that it's all immigrants. I'd really like to get this constructed, but at the moment, all of my furniture just got put into here, this fishery. So this guy here is making 98 fish per day. He's making 53 fish per day in this space here, 23 guys. And this guy's making 63. So in this tiny little space, they're making considerably more, or at least 10 more per day for roughly 4 workers. Not the best exchange. If I look at this, it's kind of a better exchange. I got 42 guys. Actually, it's about the same. Seems to be a diminishing return, because if you think about it, you have 27 guys here doubled up. It should be like, this should be closer to 100 100% or 100 fish per day. Irregardless, we are making a fair amount of fish. Not enough. Definitely not enough. We need dedicated fish guys, just throughout here. All throughout this area is going to be fishing. And I'm also going to put a significant portion of our technology into fishery methods. So there's 250 for the first level, which will give us a 0.1% boost to our fisheries, as well as we have a noble, the masturbator, Chubakera. I think I spelled his name. I don't know though. He seemed to have corrected me by spelling it the same exact way. Regardless, I love you, Chuba. You're a good dude. I don't know. I think his name on YouTube is Alabaria. So he has two different names, but Chubakera is definitely a name. It's Chewbacca. Chewbacca in fucking Chewbacca, something like that, Portuguese. Fucking different languages, man. Very, very different selection of people who follow this channel, and I support it all. I love to know where people are from, especially if you're not from America, because basically all of us are the exact same, unless you're from Massachusetts or like New York or something. We sound a little different. I don't know where I'm going with this, but the next step in this city is to pump these fishes up. Up. The only thing I should be seeing is 10,000 fish, a fair amount of stone, good amount of clothes and some leather, as well as warhammers. And I'm actually proud to say that I've gotten pretty far in just, what are we, year 15. We've done quite a bit in just a couple years. We're going to have to eventually fight our neighbor here, Korginski Stee. Probably going to take a couple years, but I think once we beat up a rebel faction, a rebel army, we'll definitely have a chance to beat the Korkinski army up, because they will give us a decent amount of supplies like brews, rations, as well as clothes, and that will keep us keep our production up there. The goal is to get ration makers too. I need to get some herbs going. You can see that fish are one of the things that can be used to make rations, and with fish, I believe it costs only 2 crafting ration maker, 3 fish, and you make significantly more with those fish rations. So basically, we'll be making more rations, producing a decent amount. And you can see that the Amevians are decent skills at it. Everyone is average. No one is better than the other at doing that ration making. And then we have to go into refining and brewery here. So everyone is the same skill rate in brewing. Since the Amevians like fruit, I believe they like fruit. Actually, I have to check over here. Yes, they like fruit. We are also going to need some pastures. Not some pastures, some fruit farms. Or orchards, actually. So I think I'm going to have to post up a couple of fruit orchards in here as well. So we have our episode ahead of us. Quite a bit of early game farming. Quite a bit of fishery stuff. We've still got a lot to do before we can actually get to a good point of production to actually survive into late game. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Yes, look at it. Don't you just love when you're doing a beautiful scroll through your city and somebody just rips a fat toot right in your ear? Gotta love it. Gotta love it. That's Songs of Syx for you. And welcome back. Here I am. What will be seconds for you has been about maybe an hour. I spent considerably less time than I normally do on songs today, as I've had a very busy and productive day personally. And that's part of the reason why I'm going to remind people, if you haven't already, be sure to sub, as it helps me out immensely. And I'm on my road to 1,000 subs, and I'm getting closer and closer every single day. It's amazing. Regardless, I have a lot of cool stuff going in the background. Hopefully, maybe a new computer in the future, near distant future, for better videos, better quality, more editing, all of the good stuff. All of the good stuff that you've come here for. Expanded, just like you watch my cities. So too will this channel grow. I promise. As you can see, the capital here is relatively the same. I have not done anything, but I did actually get this upgrade here, so I can upgrade that well. So that is a upgraded well now. We have a little bit of technology coming in. We have 450 Amevians as well as 25 Crotonian slaves. We have our original tailor and all of this stuff going on here. We changed our export. We are not exporting livestock right now because we needed some, and we're importing wood. Importing wood at 38. I'll set it to around 40. It's expensive, but 3 wood sells or makes for 1 furniture, and then that sells for 250. So if you do the math, 4 times 3, or 40 times 3, roughly, then you've got that. You're making a fair chunk of change, over 100 gold per sale, and you can see we have a fair amount of money stored away. Is this degrading? No, it's not. Sometimes my buildings seem to be degrading a little faster, and I think, and I might be wrong, I think that's because mud buildings degrade faster. Simply because of the fact that they have no material maintenance, they do degrade faster. Could be very wrong, but I think that's the case, because I noticed them spending more time, although it could be also the case that I have less janitors than is necessary, or whatever the case may be. I noticed that some of these buildings will be decayed rather quickly, especially like the pump. I had a pump over here that was decayed, and there's a janitor 2 feet away. He's right here. I put another janitor right here just so he could take care of the pumps, and he has his little warehouse next door. As you can see, I fixed up the canals a little bit. These middle bits, I'm not quite sure if I want to actually bring this canal over now that I'm looking at it, now I'm thinking about it, and have it stretch up so that this doesn't exist in the middle, because you can see that there is no fertility in here, 13%, but as you get to the sides there, it's a little bit fertile. So we might be able to put like 8 over, so that there's room for these fruit orchards. I have fruit orchards along the low side of the canal. Further out, I feel like it's not necessary, because once you hit this spot here, it hits such a low point in the fertility that I think that it's irrelevant to even have a fruit orchard there in the first place. So I didn't do that. I have them along here. We have our Crotonian bastards living right here. There's a new cotton farm here, and another cotton farm, the original one right there. We have a herb farm, food stall, market, as well as a warehouse for all the goods that are going to go in here. We have our housing over here, a little bit of housing, not a lot. Warehouse, janitor, a large Globian pasture with a considerable amount of Globian, producing a decent amount of eggs per day. If we can get our production values up there for the other food sources, hopefully the eggs will level out. We also definitely need to capture a world region at some point. Speaking of capturing, we have 100 guys trained, 50 and 50. They're both training up to 50% training, so there'll be 50 at 50 and 50. And there'll be 100 of them, so there's a 10% chance of being raided. As soon as I think I boosted up to 450, that popped up. And I also have access to, oops, yeah, actually it's right here. 2 days ago, administration and embassies, so we can get 2 more nobilities. There's a lot more loyalty and a lot more happiness in the city. Still, though, they're not as happy as they could be, and they're not as loyal as they should be, because most of whom are not natives. I'm still struggling to keep that native population growing because they take forever. You can see we have 508 total population, so 25 of them are babies. Eventually, these 25 babies will turn into grown Amevians. You can see this guy's bringing some fish over right now. Wait, where are you bringing this? Right here, yeah, okay. He's bringing some fish. also. And that's it. He just spends his day chilling, relaxing. That's the best life to be, a hauler. We also have some guards. Guards throughout the entire city. We have one here, one in the capital, one across the street over here. We have some more housing as well. And another one over here. So there's plenty of that. And I also forgot to go over this little execution spot, scaffolding. So the only thing they like, we have one criminal in our society. What did he do? He stole something. And we had a vandal a while ago. You know, I think Amevians are okay with the idea that you steal. So we'll pardon you. Yeah, we'll pardon you. Because they only care for two things in their law system. Ooh, we have a decent amount of riches. They only care for pardoned and execution, as well as judged and stocked. I can get stockades soon. We have our iron being produced, and we also have fabric being produced in the city as well. For some reason, these guys don't seem to be producing fabric very quickly. Here, pop that up a little bit. We have a fair amount of cotton coming in, so those guys should be working. We have guys making clothing out of the fabric right next door. And hopefully, if we can add like one or two more of these cotton farms, I plan to put globdian pastures all along in here. In my brain, I thought about it like this. Fish, there's an entire coastline up here that I can occupy and take advantage of. For fertile regions, I only have this. And that means I need to put my globdian on that fertile region. You can see I even cut that out because it made it down to like 30-40% fertility. If I kept it right here, the fertility in this area, I don't think it's going to tell me, but it's pretty high because I cut that spot out perfectly so that I can put a warehouse. And the globdian are pretty happy. 49 globdian is no joke. And 11 eggs per day. They don't normally create that many eggs, but the region we're in, I think, helps with this. So, species, oh, I guess not. I guess there's no climate boost to globdian. I believe there might be, but I don't know if it's implied on this version. We have, I think I had 3 water pumps. Now I have 8 water pumps. And this one, which is not upgraded. These guys are helping keep the whole city watered up, nice lubed up. We've got herbs, lots of herbs over here. And the other side of the fruit orchard, probably have another fruit orchard here and here. Just going down the street so that it's nice and full of fruit all the time. And whenever there's a harvest, you'll see fruit just be piled up along the canal system. We have a charcoaler. He is a risky one. Not the smartest type of character to have in this area, but my other plan for these canals and the reason why they're like this is trees. If I cut down these trees in here, I will get a considerable amount of wood. Not a ton of wood, but just enough to keep me going. This is dangerous if you're on a desert map and you do not have any access to water. I would not recommend putting a charcoaler in. And most cases, it's better to mine it. It's just horribly inefficient. You can see over here we have our coal deposit. I think there's another one up here. It's horribly inefficient to mine the coal compared to making charcoal. You can see 40 wood, I get 15 coal. That's pretty good trade-off. Although the coal might be not as valuable. Let me check. How much can I sell coal for? Basically 1 for 1. Not the best trade-off, especially since we're importing wood. But coal, actually, now that I think about it, if it's that exact price right there, we're gonna import coal and turn this off. I will likely remove this and turn it into a smelter. I also want to check how much the ore goes for. Ore. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Fucking 201. And they buy metal for 312. So you can't realistically make iron-based economies like it used to. You used to be able to sell iron and make money off it, but now you can't. But that's okay because we have our guys over here mining ore. And then we're also going to put, there's another spot for an iron mine here, so we'll put that there. And we'll have plenty of ore being smelted away, and I'll be making tons and tons of water pumps. And another thing I'll be focused on trying to get is machinery, machine parts, as these guys are, like I had mentioned, I want them to have pokes, stabby stab, velcadas, and shields. I think at this base rate where they're currently at, it's okay to keep them what they have. They have leather armor on and warhammers, and I have just the perfect amount. I'm selling excess. Anything over 208 and anything over 112 or so warhammers, because these guys are equipped with 1 warhammer each and 2 leather armor a pop. If I get attacked by rebels, I'll win. If I get attacked by a foreign army, they will mop the floor with me. That is for sure. So I need to get bows. Bows are going to be extremely challenging, as we need, let's go up right here. I think it's 700. Oh, they were like 1,000 before, but I think he lowered it. 700 technology, not too bad. At a certain point, it would be smart to actually get this. I think probably the next goal would be to get the improved laboratory, so that I don't have to have as many people working as in these laboratories. So I can probably pop it up to there, 21. Get that going. You can see the happiness in the city is fairly decent with the amount of fish we've got. Got a lot of stone, and everything else is pretty decent. Feels good to be at this grassroots start like I used to back in my early days in YouTube, and maybe about a year ago now. This is how it was. It was very slow starts and long series. This one will potentially be a pretty long series. I don't end the series until I feel that it's at a comfortable position where I no longer can play it. And I think I can drag this one out, not on purpose, but because of the fact that this early game is a little more challenging, middle game is going to be a little more challenging. I easily could go and purchase a mercenary army right now and send them out and beat up a neighbor. But to be honest, it's really not that appealing to me. Why is he all the way over there? What a Chad! That's our neighbor here. Magician? I'm gonna stay on your good side, bro. Oh my god. Wait. Or is that Bless? It's Bless. Magician is just one guy. Bless has a similar... Oh, wow. He has literally the exact same symbol in a different color. Bliss Bavat. This guy had sent me the diplomacy earlier to be a trade partner for 17,000. He's really not a useful trade partner, but I do want him to be on my good side. So I'm going to send him things like this. And that will make him happy with us. He needs to like us. If there's a problem near the future, it's going to become from him. How many soldiers does he have? Oh, that's Magician. 3,000 in his army. And he actively just sent them across the ocean, and he conquered a region over here. He probably conquered rebel territory, like one of these ones. Seems like there's a lot more rebel territories up in the north. Wait, did this... Oh, I thought this region collapsed. No. These regions will sometimes collapse due to internal strife. And that will likely be when I take my move on someone like over here. Because each one of these kingdoms is relatively big. This guy here, Slibin. Slibin has all of this gray property here, all the way up to here. Then we have, who is this? Korkinski. He's just this little pink empire right here. We have Udrik. Udrik is this dark pink empire. And then there is... Oh, that's a river. That's a lake. And then Naya. Naya is over here. Our only friend of a similar size is Magician. And I wish that you could do this. Like, give him like a peace defensive treaty or something like that. There's no system for that yet, but that would be cool. Because I would actually go to war and defend this guy simply because he's a similar size. Although, does he even have... He has no army. he has 0 army. And he has a big property. I honestly think that it might be worthwhile to fight Magician before he gets taken out. Although he gives us the best deals. He gives us some really sweet deals on good stuff here. I could sell him pretty much anything for a good price. I think 464 compared to 270. It's a full 200 basically more for that guy. And Korkinski, no better. So Magician is actually paying us pretty good, and it's not just because he likes us. I think that the proximity, the tariff, as well as his overall wealth helps with that. You can see this guy is just so rich. He doesn't need to buy stuff from me for cheap. I have to buy stuff from him for expensive prices. And that's how that works. It's kind of annoying. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it's a little shorter one. It's gonna have some less cool stuff. Usually at this point in the series, year 20, I have like 20 properties and I've conquered the entire world. And at this point right now, we're still making babies. We're still trying to get babies. We're still at this little baby stage here, fight pit baby stage, shrine to Adheres. We don't have any temples. We don't have anything nice. That's okay. It's okay. Because sooner or later, our war goods will be so immense and we'll take over this entire map. We're already doing a fair job at organizing, just taking over as much space as possible. I'd like to be as populated as possible throughout the map. We only have 450 guys that took up the entire center of the map. Pretty impressive stuff. Regardless, I'll catch you guys in the next one. And be sure to subscribe if you're not. I will repeat that again. I'll see you. Goodbye.